Welcome back to another episode. This is definitely not my usual style of car, so stay tuned to get the story behind it.
Saturday morning and we have the STO out on a beautiful day.
This video is going to be an introduction to my interest in drifting, but that interest in drifting quickly escalated to buying a drift car and starting to learn how to drift. So we will bypass the boring intro and dive straight into the fun stuff instead. Thanks to a local drifter, Amber, and her husband, Echo, I got a crash course in drifting on Saturday morning in late December 2023. It quickly became clear that this was going to be a fun new challenge that would further fuel my passion for driving. After our chat, we ended up meeting for an impromptu drift gathering where I got to do some ride-alongs and solidified my decision to learn how to drift. Fast forward a couple of weeks, and here I was taking delivery of a drift Corvette that Amber had helped me track down. I wasted no time in customizing it for myself. By 11:30 that same night, I was in the garage removing the seat so that I could adjust it to my height. These seats were not on sliders, and I couldn't reach the pedals at the prior owner's settings.
What's not the same?
I ended up hitting a couple of snags when trying to get the seat reinstalled, but thanks to an awesome neighbor and YouTube, we got the seat installed in the right position so I could take it out for a spin the next day.
I gotta fix this harness. It's a little loose and it's not tightening. Huh? I'm talking. Yeah, exactly. Maiden voyage. First gas stop as she gets out of the car with the roll bar in the way. Congratulations.
Are you leaning back?
It's hard to lean back. Whenever I'm leaning my neck forward so you don't catch my hair. Oh, my hair.
It had been a long time since I had crawled over a roll cage, so don't judge my rookie moves getting in and out. I've gotten better since these first videos.
That's why it was harder to get in and out. I don't like an audience.
Thankfully, I have an awesome neighbor who owns a warehouse and gave me the green light to take my drift vet for some spins in his back lot. Yes, that was a siren. An ambulance was on break in an adjacent lot, so we went to visit them.
At least we know we're safe.
Ambulance on site.
One of the paramedics was actually a car guy, and he ended up hopping out to watch some of my donut nonsense. After this first adventure in the drift vet, it became even more clear that I was going to have a lot of fun with drifting. The next week, I ended up taking the car to Jim at Wolves Den Customs to give it a personal touch.
Shop this too.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
A little bit of residue.
A little bit, just a little bit, something light.
Funny.
Jim and his team at Wolves Den have done a couple of tint and PPF jobs for me. I ended up picking a few wrap options for the drift vet and left the final decision up to them.
I never look at
He
it.
did, yeah.
He did.
The night I dropped the car off to them was my
Toasty.
first time getting a peek at the wrap they chose. And then here it is applied to the first few panels of the C6.
Really talk, I told Bailey to do the roof in black.
They did great work, and I'm super grateful for their collaboration and for their work on my other cars as well. One of my friends from the supercar community is actually a drifter as well as a drifting instructor. So I took a Friday night to go out to his warehouse for some coaching on car and throttle control and some fun. In this drill, he had me driving the perimeter and also driving in a figure eight before trying to drift in a figure eight so that I could get comfortable with the size of the space and with the mechanics of how to execute. This car has a lot of power, and this night felt like getting to know a new dance partner in a dance style that I've never done before. Alexander was an awesome coach, and I made big progress in just a couple hours before the rain and bald tires ended the fun.
Drift cars are not made to drive on the road in the rain with semi-bald tires.
Semi?
Okay, really bald tires. It is drift car, rear wheel, and tire swap time. Treads are getting a little bare.
There's 3.
17.
One thing I love about my neighborhood is that there are a lot of car people that also live in the neighborhood. So if I just pull a car out on a weekend day, someone is bound to stop by just to chat for a while and see what's going on because so many of us enjoy car stuff. Trusty old WD-40 helped me get some of the stubborn lug nuts off so that we could get these wheels swapped out for an upcoming day on the skid pad.
This is why
I didn't inspect it.
we are changing them. Trying out the 285s instead of the 265s.
Amber had invited me to link up with a local group that plans private days at Orlando Speed World skid pad, so I jumped into one of their events and had my first experience drifting on a course. I had a lot of spin outs and I took out a few cones, but I had a blast learning to control this car and understanding all the ins and outs of what it takes to successfully run a drift course. I love learning new things behind the wheel, and the controlled chaos of drifting, even when I messed up, was an absolute blast. Even when I broke something, I was still having fun.
Uh-oh.
Just take this whole front end off.
This piece of your front splitter is out on the
I
track.
heard. That's what they just told me.
By the end of the day, I was starting to put down some cleaner runs and getting more comfortable. I still have a lot to learn, including staying in drift through the straights. And I'm excited to get behind the wheel again soon for another day on the skid pad so I can keep learning. I'll give more updates on my progress in future videos, so make sure you hit subscribe so that you know when new episodes drop.